Hi all, good evening. Today we will learn about the PCB and a few important definition and also how it occurs. Okay, and let me move to the class. Before starting the class, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel for the further updates. And in today's class, we will learn about the PCB, how it look like, how PCB will look like, and we will learn some few important definitions. Okay, what is PCB? PCB is a printed circuit board. Mainly it is mechanically supports and electrically connects. Okay, mainly we are using for mechanically supports and electrically connects. Okay, this is a very major important point. Mechanically supports and electrically connects. We are using for mechanically support for our components like resistor, capacitor, inductor, and also for the electrically connects. And next we will go for etched process. It is etched process means we are removing some metal from the PCB, that is known as etching. Okay, etched from one or more sheet layers of copper laminated between the sheets layers of non-conductive substrate. Means suppose if you connect the two conductive medium, what will happen? Short mean it will conduct, right? But here in PCB we have two substrate material, two different, like a conductive material and non-conductive material. Because if suppose the operator or the user who is going to hold the PCB, he should not get the shock, right? So we are using PCB as a substrate and non-substrate material. Here by using what it will connect, or it will connect through the tracks, pads and the other features. Okay, if suppose if you are making a PCB board, how you are going to connect? Through wires or through cables? No, right? You are going to connect by using a tracks, pads and other features. Okay, understood. And in PCB we are using two substrate. One is a conductive substrate and another one is a non-conductive substrate. Clear? And next we will go for in detailed about a few definitions. Clear? In detailed about the few definitions. In first slide we learnt about PCB and PCB, why we are using going for PCB and how it is going to connect. And we have two material, non-conductive substrate and conductive substrate. Okay, now in here we are going for to learn about the few definition. Here the first one is a pads. Okay, pads, it will allow the soldering the component to the board. Almost all pads are going to, it will allow the soldering the component to the board. Okay, here they mentioned a pad is a small surface of copper in a printed circuit board that allows the soldering the component to the board. It will allows the soldering the component, electrical component like resistor, capacitor, whatever it may be. It will going to allow the soldering process. Okay, etching I already explained before in before slide. Etching is a simple, it is a removal of the material. Okay, selectively it will remove the material from the surface of the PCB. Okay, etching means just removing of selective material from the PCB board is known as a etched. Okay, then we are having a tracks. Maybe you will think, sir, etched is removing the material, right? But what is a tracks? It is a chemical etching divides the copper into the separate conductive lines called tracks. In your PCB you can clearly observe that yellow color lines are there. Okay, if you clearly observe, you can get to know that that is the connections. That is also known as a tracks. How tracks are going to occurs over there means it is a chemically etching divides the copper into separate conductive lines. It just divides the copper, that will become a track. Okay, then at last we have a substrate. Substrate is a physical material, holds the traces and components. Okay, it is a physical material, you can touch that one, you can feel that one. It is a physical material, just it will hold the both traces and components. Clear? So here we learnt about pads, etched, tracks and substrate. And if you, this is a overall look of PCB. Clear? Like components you can place over there, or capacitor, inductor, resistor, everything they mentioned over there you can place over there. Then at last, if you have any doubt you can contact me, and please kindly like and subscribe my Tech and Teach.